as the borough president of Staten Island, over 500,000 people, I am disappointed in some of these non-for-profit organizations that collect large amounts of money from Staten Islanders and didn't respond. And one of them being this American Red Cross. I have not seen the American Red Cross at a shelter. I have not seen them down South Shore where people are buried in their own homes, had nothing to eat, and nothing to drink. And yesterday, touring the South Shore with the mayor, the neighbors down there that didn't have electricity managed to put together pots of soup, and they were distributing to the people down there whose homes were just destroyed. And the American Red Cross was nowhere to be found. So all the American Red Cross, all these people making these big salaries should be out there on the front line. And I am disappointed. And my advice to the people of Staten Island is do not donate to the American Red Cross.
Storm survivors are finding it hard to get disaster assistance from the Red Cross. It's a story we first brought to you yesterday on Channel 2 News at 6.
And at 5 o'clock tonight, we're learning that more people are having problems with that Red Cross website.
What we heard from the Red Cross, we got an invitation to apply for funds. It's a 5-question application and instantly got a denial screen.
That's farther than some saw today as they tried to apply for help online, instead getting this message from the Red Cross thanking them for visiting. But because of high volume, the website would not take them any farther. The Red Cross said online is the only way to apply for help.
More now on that controversy erupting around the Red Cross after it was revealed of the $95 million donated to the Bushfire Disaster Relief and Recovery Fund, only $30 million has been allocated to victims.
So plenty of Australians have a lot of questions this morning they need answering.
The American people were so very generous.
If you're an American, you send a $10 text message, where does it go? It turns out the Red Cross headquarters in Washington takes their slice, they give it to somebody else, they take their slice, there's more sort of management costs. And I think that goes at least part of the way to answering why this whole system doesn't seem to be changing heyday.
The issue that I saw in Isaac and Sandy for the first time that I worked with the Red Cross is that public relations became more important than mass care. I'd like to paraphrase something that Bob Scheifel said, who's the senior mass care chief in the country. Is it more important to feed a person or more important to tell the world that you fed a person? And Sandy was my 26th disaster relief operation, and Isaac and Sandy were the first time that I worked with the Red Cross that I felt it was more important for the Red Cross to tell the world they fed a person than it was to feed them.
All right, so what else did you get from the Red Cross?
The Red Cross wants one person to have one of these. That's a blanket. A pair of gloves.
Oh, okay.
Heaters. And this is what we bathe in. This is the shower. And glow sticks.
Oh, we can have a read.
Glow sticks. This is the light we get. And there's also a flashlight in some of them. Some of them have flashlights. These have glow sticks though. These weren't here last night. These must have just came.
And how many people are coming by here to get stuff, do you think, on a day?
Hundreds. Once the hot food comes, they come by the hundreds.
By the hundreds.
There's no hot food, so you don't see that many.
Okay.
But once that hot food comes, everybody comes out.
So for hundreds of people, 6 boxes of cleaning material, 1 for each family, and that's it.
That's it.
For a week.
And that little tiny bucket, and you're cleaning that house that was destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, the house. If you take a look, take a look to the pet shop and put the camera inside. Then take a look inside. That little box is supposed to clean that.
guys very much.
And we don't have heat or electric. This is going to keep us warm. I got frostbite on my hand.
Oh, really?
Of course.
Tell me about the fact that the mayor is making noises about wanting to close these centers down.
He doesn't want us doing this. He wants to make this illegal. So, but we're not going to allow it. We're just going to continue growing. We're going to expand. They said stop here. I said no, we're not going to stop. We're going to expand. So.
And I also hear that they rearrange things when the media comes to make it hard to photograph.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Tell me the story about that.
That's where I was. I was taking this gentleman because he's another person that donates. I took him to my neighborhood. The president went there yesterday. One street's clean, but I took him to the other streets, and it's just filthy. So they made a nice presentation for us. It was good. It was good.
Okay. Anything else you want to tell people who aren't here and don't know? Because they're seeing it through TV.
Just the Red Cross hasn't done anything for us.
And what day is it? Tell me what day it is.
Today's Friday.
November.
This is the third week. I think it's the 16th.
Yeah.
This is the third week going into this.
And there's a guy here on the front lines handing out to hundreds of people. Your feeling is Red Cross has done nothing, or done.
Well, they've done stuff. They gave us a blanket and glow sticks, and some buckets, and breakable equipment.
I'm getting lots of people that are responding to me saying, Eric, we were involved in the Paradise Fire, the Camp Fire, the Malibu fires. The government won't do anything, FEMA won't do anything, the Red Cross won't do anything. Red Cross, they are literally a money-making scam. They show up, they do photo ops, they don't deliver the goods, they dump the goods in the dump when it's all over with. They don't deliver anything. They come and they make money and they leave. They sound good, they have sound bites, they have people, quite frankly, like the governor that must be paid off or something. I don't know. Why would he tell people to give to the Red Cross when there's many survivors from these other fires that are telling me that they didn't get anything from the Red Cross? Matter of fact, they got bills from the Red Cross. They had their personal property confiscated by the Red Cross. Hey, there's no Red Cross tents here. Every single person that I'm interviewing, I'm asking him in those interviews, have you seen the Red Cross? Has anyone given something to you besides the local charities and the local people that are coming together? The answer is a resounding no.
The Red Cross was founded in 1881 by Clara Barton, who became famous during the Civil War for organizing the distribution of food and medical supplies to the Union Army soldiers. The Red Cross is specifically mandated, according to its congressional charter adopted in 1905, to carry out a system of national and international relief in time of peace, and apply that system to mitigating the suffering caused by pestilence, famine, fire, floods, and other great national calamities, and to devise and carry out measures preventing those calamities. The organization was also to carry out its work in accordance with the Geneva Conventions concerning the treatment of prisoners of war. Later, the Red Cross would also be entrusted with control of a large portion of the nation's blood supply. In recent years, the image of the Red Cross has been tarnished. The worst scandal came after the September 11th attacks, when it was revealed that a large portion of the hundreds of millions of dollars donated to the organization went not to survivors or family members of those killed, but to other Red Cross operations in what was described by chapters across the country as a bait-and-switch operation. People who think of the Red Cross as a private charity would be shocked to discover its actual legal status. Congress incorporated the Red Cross to act under government supervision. 8 of the 50 members of its Board of Governors are appointed by the President of the United States, who also serves as honorary chairperson. This unique quasi-governmental status allows the Red Cross to purchase supplies from the military, to use government facilities, and military personnel can actually be assigned to duty with the Red Cross. However, as one federal court noted, a perception that the organization is independent and neutral is vital. The leading administrators and officials of the Red Cross are almost always drawn from corporate boardrooms or the military high command. Among the past chairs and presidents of the Red Cross are 7 former generals or admirals and 1 ex-president. Though it is technically a non-profit, the Red Cross is run more like a profit-hungry corporation Enron-style bookkeeping, deceptive advertising, and outright theft of funds have also been a big part of the Red Cross' recent history. For years, the organization has been criticized for raising money for one disaster and then withholding a large chunk of it for other operations and fundraising. For example, the Red Cross raised around $50 million for the victims of the 1989 San Francisco earthquake, but it's estimated that only $10 million was ever turned over to the victims. Similar charges were made against the Red Cross following fundraising operations after the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995 and a San Diego fire in 2001. These scandals and potentially embarrassing political fallout from them were muffled by the media and the Red Cross's political allies. But the truth couldn't be contained after September 11th. That's when more controversy began, and a congressional investigation revealed that though it had promised that all September 11th donations would go to the victims, the Red Cross held back more than half of the $543 million. During congressional hearings, Representative Billy Tauzin of Louisiana declared, "What's at issue here is that a special fund was established for these families. It was specially funded for this event, September 11th, and it is being closed now because we're told enough money has been raised in it. But we're also told, by the way, we're going to give 2/3 of it away to other Red Cross needs." The Red Cross president was forced to resign, and her successors promised to allocate all of the money to September 11th survivors and their families. The Hurricane Katrina catastrophe of the Gulf Coast revealed the same old problems with the Red Cross. In late September 2005, the organization was ordered out of a suburban Atlanta relief center because, according to the New York Times, its application process had resulted in long lines and the group had made false promises of financial payments. In an even more bizarre incident in Chicago, students were turned away from volunteering for a multi-agency relief center because they refused to sign a loyalty oath to the U.S. government. Even more scrutiny of the Red Cross is beginning to take place. As Richard Walden of Operation USA wrote in the Los Angeles Times, its fundraising vastly outruns its programs because it does very little or nothing to rescue survivors, provide direct medical care, or rebuild houses. Walden noted, and the Red Cross now confirms, that the organization has raised $1 billion in pledges and gifts for hurricane relief. He also revealed that FEMA and the other affected states are reimbursing the Red Cross under pre-existing contracts for emergency shelter and other disaster services. The existence of these contracts is no secret to anyone but the American public. How many people would donate to the Red Cross if they knew all this? In the richest country in the world, it is a travesty that such an organization is responsible for life-saving.
And the American Red Cross was nowhere to be found. So all the American Red Cross, all these people making these big salaries should be out there on the front line. And I am disappointed. And my advice to the people in Staten Island is do not donate to the American Red Cross. Let them get that money elsewhere. Because we have hundreds and hundreds of people in shelters throughout Staten Island. And many of them, when the shelters close, have nowhere to go because their homes are destroyed.